Happy Sunday, you beautiful people, and welcome to the Jaden Show. I am Jaden Cornelius, your host for the next few minutes. I hope you enjoy today's show. I'm going all the way to Australia to meet singer, songwriter, producer, remixer, musician, Mr. Mikey J. He's at the moment in Melbourne, Australia, and we're going to go and chat with him in a little minute. But firstly, I would like to show you one of his videos. This is called Dancing in the Clouds. This is Mikey J. Enjoy.
Every time I close my eyes, it takes me to a place, a special place where music plays. I can see your pretty face. Every time I need a break from the world around me now, I close my eyes and feel your warmth, and then you show me how. This place will find a way to lift my spirits high and bring me up until my feet to reach up to the sky. Your embrace takes me to a place where I can cry, a place where angels sing and birds just wanna fly. I'll take your hand and lead you there, way up high, but don't be scared. It's a place where all your hopes and dreams are laid bare. This place will find a way to lift your spirits high and bring you up until your feet to reach up to the sky. When I think about you, you know I'm gonna be true. When I think about you, I will never be blue. When I think about you, you know I'm gonna be true. When I think about you, I'll be dancing in the clouds. When we are in this place, there's nothing that can bring us down. Nothing big or small will come that can make us frown. Everything around us here makes us sing and dance, and gives the feeling of a wondrous second chance. This place will find a way to lift our spirits high and bring us up until our feet to reach up to the sky. When I think about you, you know I'm gonna be true. When I think about you, I will never be blue. When I think about you, you know I'm gonna be true. When I think about you, I'll be waiting there, and I will swear to take your hand and bring the band to a dancing in the clouds. Every time you close your eyes, I hope you find that place. Find this place where we can meet and you can see my face. Every time you need a break or time away from here, we can meet up in this place away from any fear. This place will find a way to lift our spirits high and bring us up until our feet to reach up to the sky. When I think about you, you know I'm gonna be true. When I think about you, I will never be blue. When I think about you, you know I'm gonna be true. When I think about you, I'll be waiting there, Every time I close my eyes, it takes me to that place. Up in the sky, we'll find a way, and we'll be always dancing, dancing in the clouds. Every time I close my eyes, takes me far away. Every time I close my eyes, takes me far away. We can sing, we can dance in a special place. Every time I close my eyes, it takes me to that place. Up in the sky, we'll find a way. Up in the sky, we'll find a way. Up in the sky, we'll be dancing in the clouds.
Let's go and meet this week's special guest, the amazing Mr. Mikey J. Mikey J, welcome to the Jaden Show. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for having me.
So I believe, judging by your accent, that you're not just down the road and round the corner. Where are you hailing from at the moment?
I am in Melbourne, Australia. So
Oh my gosh,
a long
it's quite
way away.
Yeah.
And in the future as well. So you know,
Yeah, of
so
course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and I wouldn't want to walk it, to be fair.
no. Take a while.
So we've just seen your interview, Dancing in the Clouds. So obviously a fine musician. When did it all start for Mikey J?
For Mikey J, it started during COVID, as I think a lot of us indies these days. It's you're locked away in your house for God knows how long, and there's musical instruments around. You're just kind of
dangerous time
picking them up. It's dangerous, but it's been awesome as well,
and great for me because I get to chat to more people on my show. So it's been wonderful.
But music in general started very, very early. I learnt piano and cello as a child. Then my dad bought a guitar for a Japanese exchange student that was staying in our house, and never really looked back from that. Gave up the cello and the piano as the main instruments, and switched to the guitar, and have been playing that one ever since.
Do you still play piano and cello?
I still have a piano. Well, I've got an electric piano at home. Yes, and cello I still muck around on a little bit. It's on a few of my releases, which has been fun. Not so great at it anymore, but you can play a few things here and there, and it sounds all right.
Do you do your own cello and your own piano on your own tracks?
Yes, yeah. So pretty much everything I do myself, except for the really like drums. It's programmed. Yeah, Logic drummers are very, very good these days. So I use them for that. But a couple of songs I've got a few collaborations going on as well. With My Little Dragon Girl that we might hear a little bit later on. Is a good friend of mine, Danny Davis, who I met when I was actually living in China, but he's from Melbourne as well. Anyway, he plays trumpet on that track for me, so that was a bit of fun getting some real trumpets in there.
Amazing, man. So COVID was the first time you started singing as an artist, or were you in like bands and stuff and singing like when you were younger?
Singing myself, not so much. It was COVID that started the singing side of things. As a younger fella, through high school and uni, I was in a couple of bands as a guitarist. But yeah, my singing voice isn't the most pleasant thing going around. It's serviceable, shall we say? But yeah, when you're stuck in the house by yourself, it's either me or the dog. So I think I've got a little bit better voice.
That's what I've been saying for the last 30 years. It's me or the dog. That's a definite. Oh my gosh, man. So when you're kind of chilling out at home, and this is like when you were younger, what were your tastes in music? Who were your main influences back in the day?
back in the day, and even still to now, number one has always been the Beatles for me.
Okay.
I'm a little bit of a Beatles fanatic. Beatles tattoo, Beatles books. I've got all the Yellow Submarine toys over there in the bookshelf over there. So I'm a real Beatles nut. And following from that, pretty much anything from 1962 to 1975, I think was sort of the best era of music that I can go to.
Wow.
But then also the 90s as well. I mean, I was a 90s boy, so a teenager during the 90s. So, you know, all of the Nirvana and Pearl Jam, Weezer, Ben Folds, you know, all of those sorts of people were pretty big influences, and still are pretty big influences on me as well.
Well, I would love to have been a teenager in the 90s. I was way into my adulthood at that particular. But I was also becoming a pop star, so that was really, really cool as well. I got to work with some great. I was doing pop and R&B, so there were some great producers. I mean, for me, I think the 90s. It's funny now. I listen to more 80s than I ever did in the 80s because I guess it's kind of like trip down memory lane, and there were some amazing artists and songs. But I think for me, the best time in music for me was 90s. I mean, and it's funny, you look at my Spotify playlist and I've got songs that my grandmother listened to, songs that my mum and my dad listened to, songs that and I was born in the 70s, the songs that I've grown up with and I've listened to. So I've got from Dame Vera Lynn to Dua Lipa. Do you know what I mean? Like on the same, so it's like 8 decades of music on just one playlist, which I find is amazing. But the 90s for me, I think was a pretty cool time for me.
It was, you know, I think in terms of also just in terms of productivity in the 90s, it kind of matched that 60s, 70s era as well, where it was
completely
band after band after band of everyone just doing really, really, really awesome stuff. So.
Yeah, and it wasn't about necessarily what they looked like. It was literally about the talent behind, whether it was the talent of the producer or the talent of what it was. It was the talent, not just because you know they look great. It's interesting. I don't know if you ever saw it on social media. I think there was like a comparison kind of thing where they were, and it was the Beatles. They were saying, you know, whatever this Beatles song was, they showed the lyrics written by two of the Beatles, produced by one of the Beatles and somebody else. #1 for 7 weeks in the charts, grossed however many millions. So I think all in all, 5 people included in this production of this amazing hit that lasted forever and is in some like record hall of fame or something. And then Run the World by Beyonce, 17 writers, 43 producers, 6 remixes. Who run the world? Girls.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's completely different era now than what it was back in the day. We had some great times. So rock was your main genre of choice, do you think? I mean, excluding the Beatles, but do you think kind of rock was pretty much your go-to?
Yeah, it's certainly the more rocky sort of stuff. Rock, blues. I kind of enjoy some I guess you described it as the psychedelia, you know, a little bit of Pink Floyd sort of sort of stuff as well. And then through into the 90s, the grunge era, and the power pop, bands like Wheatus is in there, but Wheatus and Weezer, just real fun songs that
just real feel good.
They feel good, but they've also got that little bit of bite to them as well.
It was interesting. You already answered the next question I was going to ask you. What are the songs of your choice back in the day still the songs of your choice now? Which I guess they obviously are because of the whole Beatles thing. But what would you say is the most random, unlike Mikey J thing you've got on one of your playlists?
Probably Pet Shop Boys. But the Pet Shop Boys were also one of the first cassettes I ever bought with my own money, which probably doesn't really sound like me or what I create. But again, it's good fun music.
Great music. I was before the Pet Shop Boys. I can't remember his name now, and I remember it the minute I stopped talking to you. But one of the guys, the keyboard player in the Pet Shop Boys, can't think of his name. But anyway, he used to sing with a British girl called Alison Moyet. I don't know if she was ever famous out there. And that was kind of the Pet Shop vibe before the Pet. Oh no, it was something different. Anyway, but it was that kind of vibe as well. She had she was a huge girl. And yeah, she sounded amazing. So you need to check it out. She's got a great vocal. So you started producing. Are you producing your own stuff as well as writing and singing?
Yes. Yep. So I do it all from home. All from home, which is both good and bad. You know, you can certainly hear my growth as a producer, I guess. You know, you listen to the first couple of albums I put out, and they're production wise, they're pretty ordinary. I'll have to say, and I've gone back and had a look at a couple of the sort of the projects. You know, and we've got the bass turned up to about plus 17 to try and get it through, and everything's peaking off the charts. But you know, it was fun. But yeah, so I do that all myself, with the help of a lot of people in the Twitter community in particular. So one in particular is Adam Whitaker, who goes by the moniker of Mixed by Adam. So he's a Grammy-winning professional mixer, but he's also a fairly big champion of the indie and the underground. So he's been a real help to me, just setting me on the right path and showing me a few little tips and tricks along the way, to get me sounding a little bit more professional.
You want to sound,
better word. Yeah. Okay. So he's been fantastic. My most recent album, which is out in a couple of weeks, I did all the mixing myself, but it's been mastered by an Irish fella called Grim 17.
Okay.
And it's part of the Lights and Lines music collective out of the UK, which is where that album is coming out through, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you know, it's a bit of trial and error, and fixing out, you know, YouTube videos, and then giving it out to some people on Twitter and things like that to have a listen and get some feedback, and then make some more tweaks. And yeah, but I enjoy it.
So was it literally a COVID project that just kind of sparked your addiction? Or was it kind of something was like, you know, or it literally just was like, I'm trying to do something myself.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, you got time on your hands. You can't, like in Melbourne, I think we did have the longest lockdown in the world.
Really?
So we were something ridiculous, like I want to say about 230 days or something.
No way, really?
Over the what, 2 years? 2020 through 2022. So like ridiculous amounts of time. We weren't allowed to go more than 5 kilometers apart. You had a 5 kilometer radius around the house that you were allowed to go to. We're allowed outside an hour a day for exercise.
No,
you know, so
man.
It was ridiculous lockdowns.
And did that lessen COVID cases?
No, not really. No.
Okay, well,
potentially. Who knows if they didn't do it? If they didn't do it, who knows what would have happened?
Hey, some albums, some good music came out of it.
Well, exactly. It's given me that push, and thankfully I've been able to sort of keep going once the lockdowns have all finished.
So is it getting kind of semi back to normal where you are now, or is it still?
Oh, we're 100% back to normal.
Okay, so are you doing any live shows and performances at the moment?
No, it's kind of hard to do the live shows for me when it's all me. You know, there's not many places that want a fella with a speaker who's got a backing track and playing guitar and singing over the top of a backing track. It's not the most sought after kind of thing, and not something I've ever really even thought about trying to do too much. You know, it's for me, it's a way to relax, to de-stress, to get all the craziness that's in my head out of my head, and have some fun while I'm doing it. Okay,
and feed that creative side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many albums have you released so far?
6 so far. No, 5 so far. 6 is coming out in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
I feel positively lazy now, man, in comparison to you.
Oh. Well, we'll see. Well, not all of them are fantastic. Like I said, the first couple were certainly a little bit funky in terms of production values and things like that. But you know, I sort of get on little runs where I'll just sort of have 10, 15 songs that come out, and then I spend some time mixing and getting it all ready and putting it out there, and then you pick up a guitar again and it happens again. So
wow.
Album 6 is coming out, and it's this one here. Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Great artwork as well, I have to say.
That's my secret is canva.com. They are fantastic. Yeah.
Wow, but I got Canva. Mine don't look like that.
Yeah, well, we get there. But yeah, that's coming out in a couple of weeks. But Sweet. The next album's already pretty much done, and I'm up to about what did I look at? About 8 songs for the one after that. Already started. So
I'm beyond impressed and a little bit envious as well. It's amazing. Wow. Was it? I can't even play triangle that well. So I mean, for me, that's already my nil start really. Yeah. The songs are in my head, but they're not going down anywhere. This is my but that's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble. So
that's the main thing. That is the main thing. And like I said, you're getting those creative juices flowing constantly, which is really, really
very much.
So have you had any? I mean, do you also punt your music out to artists as well, or is it just the Mikey J project and that is it, or have you had other people cover your tracks?
Covering, not so much. I did get to work with artist producer Joe Adame. Okay. He listened. He's also a UK fella.
Okay.
He's a fantastic musician himself. He's got another sort of alter ego as well, Invisible Squirrel, where he does a bit more sort of dance poppy kind of stuff going on as well. But he really liked one of the tracks I did on an album last year. So did a bit of sampling of that, which was pretty cool.
Wicked.
And this was a folksy kind of it was a mandolin riff and folksy guitar kind of thing going on, and he's turned it into something very, very different, which is pretty cool. So that was the sort of the first one of some sort of cover or someone else using one of my tracks, which was fun. That's called Chasing Seagulls.
Wow, sweet. Are you quite a protective artist? I mean, like, are you one of the like, I know how this sounds in my head. No, it's not going to work any other way. But because I know there's also writers that are very much like that. Like, no, you can't go, no, it has to be, no, because that's how it sounds. You're like, oh my God, what happened to my poetic license?
Not at all.
You're like, take it, play with it, make it super special.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, on this album, I've got it's funny, I did a cover of one of my own songs on this album.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. So again, it was from that sort of acoustic folksy album that I released last year. It was kind of an attempt at a Simon and Garfunkel kind of a tune.
Okay, nice.
Big
shoes to fill, mind.
Very, very big shoes to fill, and I certainly don't have the voice of either Paul or Art, but that's okay. I tried them both. But I thought, Simon and Garfunkel had quite a few 90s bands do covers of their songs and made them a bit sort of rockier, a bit grittier. So I thought I'd do the same thing.
Nice.
With my own Simon and Garfunkel version of a song. So I've made that into a bit of a pop punk kind of thing. And that's actually a collaboration with another artist in the US. Goes by the name of Scoopsy.
Sweet.
Scoopsky. So he's very much into that sort of 90s power pop, fuzz rock kind of stuff.
Okay.
So he's done some wonderful things on that, and I just I love it. The collaborations are a lot of fun. I've done quite a few with various artists from around the world, and they're just it's a really good way to boost your own creativity as well.
Oh, of course, man. Absolutely.
You can see what other people are doing, and really have get a different way of looking at things.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
And also because the business can be a little bit lonely at times when you're just doing everything. So it's really nice to get other people in the flow of that, So sharing is caring and all that.
100%.
Oh, fantastic, man. So what are you doing at the moment? Obviously writing like a crazy man, but what else is going on for Mikey J like right now, apart from chat?
Right now, obviously I'll plug it again. This album's coming out in a couple of weeks on,
and it will be available where on Bandcamp or anything like that.
The CD, yep, available through Bandcamp. But then it will also be on all the streamers as normal. But yes, the Bandcamp, we can get an actual copy of a CD. So this is pretty exciting to actually have a CD.
Yeah, imagine.
When I started this, it was, it would be lucky if one person listens, and it's not my wife. So to actually have a CD coming out, and I've seen people posting pictures of it from all around the world, and it's pretty cool.
Super cool
to have that sort of that level from where I started. So that's sort of taking up a fair bit of time at the moment, getting ready for that release. Like I say, I'm a teacher by trade, so I've got my 2-week holiday at the moment. So I think I'll spend a lot of time playing guitar, which is fun. Yeah, but working on the fun stuff.
yeah, true that.
Yeah.
So more albums. What does the future hold for Mikey J?
Look, we'll see what happens. I always think that at some point the well will run dry. At this point, it hasn't. So until it does, I'll just keep writing things out, doing what I do, having some fun. Certainly looking at more collaborations and things like that. They're always good. Actually, I am doing a kind of somewhat semi kind of live thing coming up fairly soon. So the indie radio T, I always forget the order of the letters, TFSC, out of Germany. They're a great indie radio station, and every so often they have a what they call a Couchella. So not Coachella, but Couchella. Where they invite artists to record a few songs, acoustic little songs of theirs, and they have sort of like a bit of a online festival for that. So I'm going to start seeing if I can actually sing well enough under that pressure and give that a go.
I've got no doubts. So did this all come through your presence on Twitter or your presence on Bandcamp?
Yeah, Twitter in particular. It's a phenomenal community on Twitter. It's just there's thousands of us really. Bedroom artists, lounge room artists, who are sharing, who are giving advice, who are offering like all the collaborations I've done have pretty much come through that Twitter community. So it's really, really great.
No, that's amazing, mate. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more and more news about you rising to even greater heights. I'm seeing TV specials. I'm seeing world tours.
That would be lovely. But I'm enjoying myself while I do it. That's the main thing.
So apart from work and music, do you have any other hobbies or interests? Do you have like kickback time where you think, you know what, I'm just shutting myself off from everything. I'm going down the pub, or I'm going to go for a hike. What else kind of feeds Mikey J besides music? And
yeah, I certainly enjoy, say watching sports. I'm not so much of a player of sports myself anymore. I've given that up a little bit, but cricket and footy, and by footy I mean Australian rules football, which is a real sport, not like your little round ball thing that you play in the UK.
Yeah, the bunch of that's called netball, isn't it, that we play?
Certainly enjoy that. I've got my family, my wife and my son. My son's 15 now, so he doesn't really do all that much with us, but it's nice to spend some time with them. Go and see movies, go to the beach, whatever it is.
Lovely, man.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be into music as well, or is that just
look? He hasn't shown much of an interest. No, we've done guitar lessons, we've done drums, we've done piano, and he's kind of always it's all right, but never really got into it, which is a bit of a shame because he's got the most elongated piano player fingers. He would be an awesome instrumentalist, but
But you wait, mate. In 20 years' time, he could be winning. He could be winning a Grammy or something, or
who knows? There's always instruments around that he can go and have a tinkle with if he wishes. and it's always there. So that's a good thing about music. You can pick things up, you can do things,
and whenever,
anytime.
Absolutely. Did you come from a musical background?
Well, yeah, my dad was a phenomenal musician. I remember a time we went and saw, I think it was 42nd Street, the musical.
Mm-hmm.
He came home, played the whole show for me on piano.
Oh, really?
Perfectly. He was a trumpeter, he was a drummer, he was a pianist. So he was phenomenal. My mother likes music, perhaps not quite so much in the talent side for Mum, but she has a good red hot go at it.
It's a good listener.
Yes.
Lovely, mate. And your wife, musical?
No, not at all. Not at all. But she does like to listen to my songs, which is nice.
I say, your biggest fan?
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
Always advisable, I feel, for a happy marriage.
But also critic as well. She's not just going to say everything's fantastic. She says, and I don't like this one, but this one's good, which is nice.
Which is not, yeah. Honesty is the best policy.
100%.
Yeah, just make sure you're writing all this down in a notebook.
Yeah.
For that time, when she said you didn't clean the kitchen. Yeah, well, that's because on March the 14th, 2022, you told me that song was shit. Sweet, man. Well, I wish you intense amounts of luck with your phenomenal writing, man. I mean, that is just so beyond cool, actually. I'm super amazed by that you're just cracking them out. That's great. If you ever think of anything that might be for a short English boy living in Mexico, you know where I am.
Cool.
We should do a collab at some time. A collab. I'm losing my English now. I'm trying to Spanish. A collaboration at some point would be super cool. And come back on the show again when you've got the next couple of albums out. We'll do a bit of a catch up. We'll play some more of your stuff. And and we'll promote the future releases as well. That would be amazing.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, mate. Thank you so much for being part of my show. Wishing you the biggest amount of luck on your journey, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Mikey J, everybody. See you later, mate.
So,
what an amazing guy, and I really need to get my bloody finger out and not just write one song every 5 years. I think I need to be getting down to a little bit of songwriting. Anyway, that was Mikey J. I know you loved him, and I know you're going to go over to his social media platforms and go and show him some support. I'm getting very excited because a couple of days ago, the album that he was talking about called Wondering was released. It was released on the 21st. You can go and find it on his download and streaming platforms as well. For example, Spotify, Deezer, Apple, Bandcamp. So go and find that new album and go and download it. And like he said, you can go and get a physical copy from his Bandcamp as well. We wish him the most amount of luck with that new album. It's going to be amazing. So thank you so much for joining my show. Thank you for spending some time with me this Sunday. It's been lovely to see you again. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you come and find me on my other social media platforms as well. It's been great. What do you think? Leave your comments below. It would be lovely to hear from you. I will see you next Sunday on another wonderful episode of The Jaden Show. And I'm going to leave you with a song that actually comes from the album Wondering. It's called My Little Dragon Girl. This is Mikey J. Enjoy. I'll see you next week. Stay beautiful. Take care. Bye-bye.
Feel a little